And happy Monday. We are here in the Healing for Women Entrepreneurs group, where I am going to talk to you today about how your unhealed inner child impacts your business. I feel like I'm extremely loud right now, so I'm just going to calm down a second. Where are you going, baby? You're going to put it away? Okay. So I currently do not have a babysitter. I don't know if she's coming back today or not. She had to go get a negative COVID test in order for her to be able to visit her mom post-surgery. And I tried to be a good employer, so I just told her to not worry about coming in and then, just going to get the test done. And then if she comes back, or if she can make it here, she can make it here. Try not to put that pressure on people because I know what it's like to be the employee wondering if I'm still gonna have a job for stupid shit like that. And not that it's stupid, but you know what I mean. So I try to be a good employer and give people that time. So, but if you hear my baby in the background, it is because she is here when she's normally not. Oh, I know you hurt your head, huh? Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me see. You want me to kiss it? Mwah. Oh, better. And she also has makeup all over her. So we are in a little bit of a scram right now because I didn't think about how the babysitter not being in here would impact me. You just don't think about those things. You're like, yeah, sure, go get the test. It's not a big deal. And then you're like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have done that. So let me get to where we're going and then I will get on just a second. If you are new to me, say hello. If you're watching the replay, let me know that you're watching the replay. Say hello. If you have any questions during this live, please be sure to leave them. This is for you. So the more that you engage, the more that you ask questions, the better this is going to serve you. Let me get to, there we go. Got to where I was going. So the more you engage, the more you do this, more you ask questions, the better it's going to serve you. And this is definitely for you. Of course, I'm going to give you something at the end that can serve you to ultimately heal your inner child, of course. But this content is absolutely free. There's never any pressure to move forward and buy. But I invite you to do so if you are really serious about taking your business to the next level. And in case you are new to me, I am Angela. I'm the founder of As Free As You See and this beautiful community that you are a part of. I'm a breakthrough coach and a healer of queens. I help women entrepreneurs heal from childhood trauma so that they can have thriving businesses. And I don't just do that. I help you align mind, body, and soul so that you can leave with your heart, love what you do, and thrive. And I feel like this is so important because I have spent 5 years in business, 3 of those years just off to the wind, trying to be somebody else, trying to fit into the mold. And it never, ever worked for me. And so I did strategies. I did everything by, wearing myself out and spreading myself thin by being on everywhere and trying to do everything. And, I'm a one-woman show with a kid at this point. And so that just didn't work. And so I had to figure something else out. And what really, really helped me is healing my trauma and doing all the inner work so that I could apply the strategy without resistance and so that I could show up as all of me and shine and help you do the same thing. So I've spent the last 2 years, about the last 18 months, just specifically helping women with trauma. And then I've decided to shift within the last few months to help women entrepreneurs that own businesses. Of course, they own businesses, they're entrepreneurs. To help them do their inner work and to let go of their trauma so that they can feel safe showing up online, so that they feel comfortable with being seen and heard. And we're actually going to dive deep into this today. But one of the most important things that we need to create for ourselves as entrepreneurs is safety around being seen and heard. And this is really goes back to our inner child big time. Okay, big time. So that's a little bit about me. If you're interested, just so you have my history, I am certified in NLP, timeline therapy, hypnotherapy, life coaching. I am a master at reading and healing energy, and just all of the above. I'm a healer of queens, and that's kind of my resume, if you will. I did come from a corporate background. I was in corporate for 5 years before I left, and I thought I was going straight to the top until everything fell apart. And I'm really glad that it did, because I couldn't imagine still running my life like that. I just couldn't. So again, if you're on, let me know that you're on. Drop that you're on. If you're new to me, let me know that you're new to me. If you have questions, please feel free to ask them. I am actually going to upload this to YouTube later. So even if you see it on YouTube and you have questions about healing your inner child, and you have questions about the course that I'm going to talk about at the end of this, please feel free to do so. I will get to those comments. You can just drop them right down below. I will also leave the link in the course to that below so that you have access to that. So let's get to the juiciness of this. So how does your unhealed inner child impact your business? Okay, and we briefly talked about this, but I'm going to share something with you. Okay, the biggest one is the fear around being seen and heard. And we don't think that we actually have this fear. We don't understand really what it is, because a lot of us believe that our childhood no longer impacts us, but that's just not the case. If you are struggling with showing up consistently online, emailing consistently online, of course it's online, emailing consistently, doing lives, you struggle with doing lives, you struggle with making connections in Messenger and in groups, and if you struggle to just connect with people in general, or take up space in the online industry, it is because you have a major fear of being seen and heard. And this is huge, because if you do not feel comfortable feeling seen and heard, you are going to do things unconsciously and subconsciously that will sabotage the way that you show up, so that you play small. So you have to be aware, okay? You must be aware. So one of the questions that you might want to journal on, and if you followed me forever, you're not surprised that there's journaling questions, but if you're new to me, I'm a huge advocate for journaling, and I journal every day. I require my one-to-one clients to journal every day, because it does create huge breakthroughs. So get a journal and journal on this question. Do you feel safe being seen and heard? And you can just ask yourself, and then questions will come up, or answers will come up as you're journaling. You don't have to logically think about it. You just have to allow yourself to really think through it. The second thing that I want you to ask yourself is, how can I help myself feel safe being seen and heard? Yeah, look at you. So I want you to ask yourself those two questions. If more journaling questions come up as we're doing the live, then I will go ahead and share them with you, okay? Oh, and I think actually another thing that we should, oh my goodness, you're so silly. Another journaling question that I want to give you is, what are you getting out of not fully showing up online? Okay, what are you getting out of not fully showing up online? Okay, and it's usually something like, your love of your family. For me, that one's always huge. It's always like connection or something like that. I'm getting love, I'm getting attention, I'm getting affection, I'm being taken care of, things like that. What are you getting out of by not fully showing up online? This will help you discover whether or not you truly have some inner work to do with your inner child, because most of us actually do. Most of us, yeah, look at you. Most of us spend a lot of time abandoning and rejecting our inner child. And I actually go deep into this about the course on how to heal rejection and abandonment, because that's going to be huge for you if you've experienced that in your life and you're afraid to sell every day because you don't want to be rejected, or you don't want to be abandoned by your friends or your family because you're doing this non-traditional thing or way of creating money. So I want you to be aware of that. And that's why I go deep into that course, because it is a very intricate part of how to heal your inner child so that you can show up in huge ways online. So you want to be aware of whether or not you feel safe being seen and heard. If you do not feel safe being seen and heard, it is due to your childhood. It's not because of a narcissistic relationship. It's not because of a relationship with a friend. It's not. Oh, mommy, put those in there. That's your basket, baby, with your journal and your pens, okay? Okay. It's not from anything in your adulthood, I assure you. Okay, we tend to think that things come from our previous relationships, like with exes and things like that. They do not. Those crappy relationships or current relationships just reflect to us the things that we need to heal. So if you struggled or you felt like you were not seen and heard as a child, that's going to reflect in every single relationship, including the relationship that you have with your business. Okay, and I know this because I have to take my sweater off. Okay, it's getting hot. I used to be so scared of showing up and being seen and heard, and I did not understand what it was highly connected to until I started working with my inner children. Okay, you could potentially have multiple of them. We talk about this in the course, but I've had this one that struggled, that came to my attention, and when I started loving on her and connecting with her and playing with her, all of this being seen and heard stuff changed. The worrying about what other people are going to think or say shifted. All of it completely shifted. I went from hiding on Instagram because no one knew me to blasting my whole life story on Facebook, where I knew like 90% of my friends on my Facebook. And it was scary. It was scary. Just because you heal your inner child, just because you connect and play with your inner child, does not mean that the fear and stuff like that won't come up, because you're very much stepping outside of your comfort zone. And that's great. You want to do that. The more you step outside of your comfort zone, the more you do things that scare you, the more money you're going to make, the more money you're going to call in, and the greater impact that you're going to have. So the more you step out of your comfort zone, the better the better results that you're going to have. Okay. So I went from hiding on Instagram because I didn't want anybody to really know my story, because I was really hiding in shame. Okay. I was really hiding in shame, and I had to heal my shame so that I could tap into my inner child and just get to know her on a deep level. Okay. And I'm not going to share with you how to actually do that. If you are very interested in getting the process of healing your inner child, I highly recommend that you go into my course and you take the course on healing your inner child. It goes into deep, it goes into I don't know, we go deep into healing your inner child for 7 weeks. There's 2 hours of coaching. There's technically 7 hours of coaching, I guess, but there's 2 specific hours that are on Q&A that is coaching to you specifically. And then there are also bonus meditations, and we go over how to journal for this, how to hold space for yourself, how to deal with protector parts, how to heal your inner child, how to heal abandonment and rejection, and then Q&A sessions. And then I give you bonus meditations so that you can create safety around allowing your inner child to show up. So let's go back. So if you're struggling with being seen and heard, you know this because you're actually struggling to show up the way that you want to. Every time you go to post online that might be a controversial topic or might be really your opinion and it has so much emotion and so much fierceness behind it, that you hear these little voices running around in your head, and you actually stop. You stop yourself, and then the whole post is completely gone. And I know because I used to do this, and then I would try to do it, like an hour or so later, and the momentum and the emotion and the passion was gone because I was so afraid of being seen and heard. Here's another example of how you know that you might struggle with being seen and heard. And I actually just experienced this morning, okay? Mondays are never, ever, ever a good time to message people, okay? Unless they've messaged you, unless you're getting back to them, unless something is going on, you do not message people on Monday. If you have to message people and you message people on Monday, that's completely cool. Do not do it the first thing in the morning, okay? It's inconvenient. Depending on who you're talking to, they probably have kids that they're trying to get out the door. They're probably just waking up from having a Monday. They might be easing into their Monday or whatever is going on. Please stop messaging people at the crack of dawn on Monday, because you know what that tells me when I see it? You do not feel confident in what you're doing. You are not thinking about me as your potential client or your potential audience, and you really do not want to be seen or heard. You just want to be brushed off. And I know that seems crazy because we're just messaging people, right? We're just checking that off the task, and we do it first probably because we're scared of it. But the truth is that, and this might work for some people, okay? I'm not saying stop cold messaging people because I know that it works for people. It's not what I do, but it does work for people. So I'm not against it. I'm not going to tell you not to do it. But I'm telling you to be aware of who your audience is when you go in and message people at the crack of dawn. I don't want messages at the crack of dawn. I'm not going to respond them. And then if they're a voice message and it's the crack of dawn, there's no way that I'm going to be listening to it while I'm trying to take care of my daughter, while I'm trying to get to work or get ready for work, and while I'm actually trying to serve my clients. Do you see where this is going? We don't want to be seen and heard that we subconsciously and unconsciously do things without thinking because we are deathly afraid of being seen and heard. And this is connected to your childhood. And it's connected to your childhood because most of us grew up being unable to express our emotions, express our thoughts. And if we did do those things, we were too much. Stop throwing a tantrum. I'll give you something to cry about. And the list just goes on and on. In my house, in my childhood, I distinctly remember my mom telling me, and I was older, I think I was like 7 or 8 or something like that. And my mom just being like, I don't care about your feelings. And I remember this distinctly because I remember it shutting me down. I remember completely shutting me down. And so if I'm in a relationship and there's an argument or whatever the case may be, I completely shut down in the argument if I'm not being seen and heard, because I'm headed back to coping mechanisms that I used to do as a child to keep myself safe. So if you have those kind of memories as a child and you're posting things online, then you are going to retreat back to safety so that you won't be fully seen and heard, because you are 100% 100% trying to keep yourself safe. Oh no, I hope that I'm still live. Can't open this page. Okay, let's see what's, maybe it's just my laptop. I don't know what's going on, guys. Am I online? I hope I'm online. What the hell? Okay, I'm gonna restart my laptop. So I'll get back on and then get to questions and things like that. So I want you to be aware of how those things happen, because they trickle down from our childhood. Okay, I'll give you another one, and this was a huge discovery, and this is why I believe that it is so important and so critical to heal your inner child so that you can show up as fully you online. Because if you were struggling in any way, shape, or form with content, showing up consistently, taking selfies, doing all of the things you have to nitpick at everything and all of the above, it's an indication that you're having that you're struggling with this. Okay, and I'll give you an example. Okay, and I just discovered this. I don't know. I'd say about 6 weeks. Well, how long ago? So I had COVID 4 weeks ago. So I think it was about 6 weeks ago. Okay. I watched this content creation course, and we had to go behind the scenes about dealing with our inner child. Okay, it looks like I was still live. Okay, and dig blocks around our content strategy. Okay, we had to dig deep behind those blocks. And I was digging deep around, these blocks, and something had struck out at me about what I think about my content strategy. And one of my things is that my content strategy sucks, okay? And then it went on to my content strategy sucks, and I wish I could remember. Oh, I have the book, I can tell you. Oh, I hope everything doesn't fall. I can tell you exactly, I love you too, baby. I could tell you exactly what I thought about. Okay, so this is what it was. Okay, it says, my content strategy doesn't work because I feel like I suck at creating content, which is absolutely not true. But then I go deeper into it, and then it says, I'm afraid of being seen and heard because I'll get in trouble. This is connected to my 2-year-old self. It feels like shame, trauma, and pain. Okay, so that's how you know. Yes, baby. A bucket. It's a bucket to hold things. It's a container. It's a storage container. It's No, you cannot, because that's nanny's. That's not ours.
So I have boots, so I can wear boots. You have stuff, so something in it.
Yeah, it does have something in it, so you can't get in it, okay? So this is an indication to let you know how our unhealed inner children are rolling around. And I will tell you where it came from, okay? When I was a child, right before my trauma was taking place, I would get in trouble all the time. I was in trouble for everything all the time. And I know because I've had flashbacks of this in the last, I don't know, probably 9 months or so. I would get in trouble all the time, okay? And I would get my ass handed to me, okay? I would get in trouble for playing, for doing whatever, for speaking up, for lying all the time at 2-3 years old, right? And so when I would go online, I would have this subconscious and unconscious programming running in the background when I was showing up online that created this energy that I needed to play small because I'm gonna get in trouble. Okay, who am I gonna get in trouble by? I mean, seriously, who? Okay, I don't have a significant other. Okay, I live with my mom. She knows what I do. It just doesn't make any sense to me how I could possibly get in trouble. It doesn't make any sense to me consciously. It does not mean that subconsciously and unconsciously I'm running that type of program from my 2-year-old self because I'm afraid of getting beat. So I'm trying to keep myself safe so I don't show up fully online and get in trouble. Do you see how that's working? Do you see how our unhealed inner children play a huge part in how we show up in our business? If you are struggling with being seen and heard, okay, and you know because it's in your content, you know because you're afraid to email people, you're afraid to message people, and when you do message people, you're messaging them at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Monday, which just screams to me that you really don't want to interact with me. Aubrey, please stop that, baby. Okay, that's what it's saying to me, okay? And I only know that because I've done stuff like that, okay? I'm gonna do it at 5 o'clock in the morning because I know nobody's up and I know that no one's gonna respond to me, and then I don't have to engage in the conversation, but I'm supposed to be doing this, okay? I get it. I get it. Healing your inner child allows you to create safety around you being all of you completely. Okay, we can go into this even a little bit deeper. Okay, it doesn't have to be connected to your business, but I do feel like in a way it is highly connected to our business, because if we do not feel confident with our body, then we struggle to take the right selfies, right? We struggle to show pictures online and dance and be goofy and be all of ourselves, okay? Are you okay? Okay. To be all of ourselves online, okay? We pick up somewhere along the lines, usually from our mothers, about how to interact with our body, about how to love on our body, how to treat our body, the things that we say to our body, okay? And I know this to be a fact because I grew up, and not to pick on my mom, I don't want her to feel like this is about her, but I grew up watching her just pick apart her body all the time. Okay, I watched her not feel comfortable with, we're Portuguese, so all the women on my mom's side of the family, we've all got fat asses, okay? And I say that like, I don't think it's that big of a deal, but what is that? So that big butt song, okay, it was made for the women in my family. And I never thought that it was a bad thing until I grew up and understood that that was definitely a problem. Baby, please don't do that to the printer, okay? Mommy's not going to know how to fix it. So at some point, I started to put on weight, and I know that the weight came from safety. But I started to put on weight, and then my body became an issue, and then I started to hate my body. And in the last year, 2 years ago, I know, baby, please don't mess with it, because mommy doesn't know how to fix it.
I know how to fix.
Oh, you know how to fix it? Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. So 2 years ago, I had pretty much, I guess it was last year. I don't know, you guys, I'm really terrible with time. Within the last year or two, I dropped all my baby weight, and I was pre-baby weight. In fact, I was a pound less than pre-baby weight. And then I ended up in a relationship that was not necessarily healthy or safe for me. And then I put on like 20 pounds in a year. And so in the last few months, since I have not been in that relationship, it's been a struggle to come into acceptance of my body. And how could I do that to myself? And even though I know how this starts and how this happens. It starts because of safety, and we're trying to create that barrier there so that, we're keeping ourselves safe. And I have dropped significant weight since I've been out of the relationship, but I'm struggling to come into acceptance of my body. Well, then something came up and it triggered me. Okay. Actually, it was really embarrassing, and I will tell you anyway, because we've got plenty of time. So I'm part of a kickball team, and I sent this, we had to wear pink the other day on Wednesday to support, bring awareness to breast cancer. And we have green shirts, and I was like, we're supposed to wear our shirts and pink and stuff. And they're like, yes. And I was like, I don't know how that's going to work, blah, blah, blah. And then I go, me and pink pants don't mesh well together. And it was really awkward afterwards. And I was like, why did I post? Like, why did I say that? It's body shaming. Okay. It's body shaming, but it was so subtle. It was body shaming. And I felt really embarrassed afterwards. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. Okay. Go potty, baby. I can't believe that I said that about myself. And then it made me realize I was on a run, which a lot of my thinking comes from, and realize that it's connected to my 5-year-old self, who absolutely loved her body and who wore whatever she want and did whatever she want, but picked up the body shaming from my mom and kept it so that I can be loved and treated well, or feel safe, because now I was doing the same thing for my body, and that's what I was supposed to be doing. And so I just kind of carried it because that's what happened. So the conditioning was not even mine in the first place, but I kept it, and it took place right around 5 years old. And I know that we have healthy relationships with our body because my daughter runs around naked 90% of the time. And so, and I let her do that. I mean, of course we don't like go places naked, but if we're at home, I don't care. I want to run around naked. So, so I know that it's true, okay? And how does that impact you, the way that you show up online? Well, because if you don't feel confident wearing whatever you want and showing up whatever you want online, then it's going to prevent you from going live. Oh, okay, I'll be right there, baby. Give me just a second. It will prevent you from going live. It will prevent you from taking pictures that you want to, or will prevent you from showing up as all of you. Okay, I know that this is crazy, but I gotta go wipe behind me. I'll be right back. Can you turn off the light, please, baby? Okay. What, baby? We're out of juice, babe. Oh, we have other juice, but give mommy a few minutes, okay? And then I'll get you more juice. Okay, I am back. So how does this, or your body image, affect you the way that you show up? Because you will not show up. You will not show up because you don't feel comfortable with your body. And I'm not saying don't come into acceptance of your body. I am very much saying that. But the thing is that when you heal that little child that is screaming for your attention, and that's why you write things to, a kickball team, that's why you write those things. It's because your inner child is screaming to come out. Your inner child is trying to get your attention because she needs your love and your attention and your acceptance, and stop rejecting her and stop abandoning her. And the only way to do that is to be aware that that's what's going on here. You have to be aware. And so since then, I've been very much more loving on my body. I've felt more comfortable showing up online. And this has been like within the last week. I feel so good about showing up. I feel so good about my body and where I'm at and understanding myself just by being aware. And then of course I journaled and whatever, but again, I'm not going to get into that because that is in the course. So if you want to really know how to connect and heal your inner child so that you can show up as all of you online and make more money and create that freedom that you truly desire, I highly recommend that you get into the inner child course now. I'll talk about that in a moment. So you want to be aware of these things and how they affect you, because they do very much affect you. A lot of this stuff, baby, please turn that back on. A lot of this stuff is about our childhood, and we need to be able to let go of our childhood and heal it and bring it into integration so that we can shine. And that's really what it's about, because I want you to be able to make all the money that you want serving people. I want you to be able to feel free online. I mean, just think about all of those feelings that are involved with feeling safe and feeling accepting and feeling like you love yourself. You show up so much different online. You absolutely do. So I invite you to get in the course. I have options for every single budget. Okay, you can pay one-time payment of $397. You can do 4 payments of $125 or 12 payments of $57. And that's just because I get it. Okay, I get it to want to invest in yourself, to do the inner work, but not being in a capacity to spend $397 in one pop. I get it. I also am meant to do things that serve me and serve you and serve the whole. And so that's why it's priced the way that it is. Okay, because it does serve me to have it at $397. I did do a pre-sale, but we're done with the pre-sale. But also the opportunity to get involved with this course will end on Friday. So after Friday, I'm going to shut it down, and then that will be that. I will no longer promote it. And so I will close it. Baby, please stop that. Okay, no, thank you. So your unhealed inner child does impact the way that you show up online. And it impacts the way that you show up online, because if you're struggling with being seen and heard because of your content creation, because of what you're posting or what people are going to think about you, then it is going to be a huge problem, okay? Okay, are you going to say hi to everybody? She did her makeup this morning. So it is going to be a struggle for you, and you will constantly deal with a lack of confidence. You will constantly deal with worrying about what other people think of you, until you go back and start to heal your inner child. And the more and more you heal your inner child, the more and more you're going to show up online, the more abundance you're going to call in, the more freedom that you'll create. It's absolutely amazing what you do when you heal your inner child, because the reality is that most of us are dealing with trauma. In fact, it's not even most. 100% of us are dealing with trauma that we don't understand is trauma. And this is how we start to create the capacity to be able to heal all of it. So make sure you check out the course. If you have any questions and you're watching the replay, please be free. I don't know what I'm trying to say anymore. I'm distracted. Please feel free to write them, to leave them on the replay. I will ask them. If you're watching this through YouTube, please ask your questions. I'm happy to serve. I will leave the link in there for you to grab the course if you're interested in doing that. I invite you to do so if it's aligned for you. But this is what I have for you. Again, I'm Angela. I'm the founder of Is Free. As you see, I'm a breakthrough coach and a healer of queens, and I help women entrepreneurs heal from childhood trauma so that they can have thriving businesses. And I hope that you have a great week and a happy Monday, and I will see you all later. Bye.